Hey guys, and welcome to today's video. This is going to be my Southampton versus Chelsea preview. The game is tomorrow, and yeah, and I'm really looking forward to it for a couple of reasons. Number one, it's yet another game in this festive period. They come thick and fast, which is good. And secondly, because I'm actually going to the game, it's going to be my first away day of the season, which would be pretty cool, going down early to Southampton. And yeah, it's going to be really fun. I'm sure the atmosphere is going to be brilliant, as always, with Chelsea fans when we're away. So really, I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, going into the game, especially, I think I said in my West Ham review, which I've uploaded today as well. There'll be a link at the end of the video. But just one thing I will say is just how beautiful the football was in that game and how fluent we were. One thing I think about tomorrow, it's going to be very different. Southampton will allow us to play football in a way, because that's the way they are. I don't see them being very physical. They're not known for that. But at the same time, it's going to be difficult because they are a good football side and they will attack us. They are going to put us under pressure. They ain't going to stick 10 men behind the ball. I know that for sure. And they have very talented players. And one thing about Southampton that you can't deny this season is how well they've done. They have literally, from in the summer, when they had looked like they had no players, all their players were getting sold to Liverpool. It looked doomed for them. And then from that, they took inspiration from that, and every player in that team has worked their socks off. And the manager, Ronald Koeman, deserves credit for the players he got in, from the money he earned from letting those players go. I mean, you look at Selin Lovren, who's been one of the worst defenders in the Premier League, and he's brought in players who have just been exceptional for Southampton. And yeah, they've had, maybe it isn't, they've had a few indifferent results because of course they lost to Man United, they lost to City and Arsenal, but you expect Southampton to lose those games. I don't think that should be taken away from Southampton, how good they've done this year. They're not fighting a relegation battle, and hey, they could even be fighting for a European spot, so massive credit. And biggest threats for them are, of course, Graziano Pella, who has been, or Pele, but everyone calls him Pella. So, but he has scored some brilliant goals this year. He's been their talisman in a lot of ways. He went for a spell where he didn't score many goals, but like all good strikers, he came through that and he continued scoring. And yeah, they've got a couple of decent results under their belt. They went away to Crystal Palace yesterday and won quite convincingly. As well, they beat Everton last weekend. 3-0. I mean, who expected that? So they've had some really good results since that loss of form a bit at the start of this month. So really, it's going to be tough, and especially with them being a home with the crowd behind them, that can also be a factor. They've got Victor Wanyama in midfield. They've got a solid backline. Of course, not with Ryan Bertrand, who's on loan from us, who's done really well this year. Fraser Forster in goal, he's been good. And of course, they've got Pella, they've got Tadic. You know, they've got players who can create things, and that's a real positive for Southampton and what makes them a threat. So for us, I think there has to be some rotation. I don't see us throwing out the same team again. I just can't see it happening. I think what will happen is, I think Schürrle will come into the team. There is some suggestion that Hazard may be given a rest, but I still think Hazard will play because he's a key player for us. I wouldn't be surprised if what Jose does is put Mikel and Matic in the centre of midfield and puts Fabregas, shifts him to number 10, just because I think he likes that solid base, and especially going away to a tough place like Southampton, he can have that solid base in the middle that can really help the defence out. And of course, Costa up front, who got to his 13th goal. If he scores again tomorrow, he'll be able to tie over Sergio Aguero at the top of the scoring charts in the Premier League. So really, overall, I think it is going to be a tough game. It's going to be a tight game. I think it's going to be a good match to watch. I don't think it's going to be... I think Southampton have good players. They play good football as well. So I think, along with that, I think they are going to be able to play football against us. And I think it could be a really open game. You might even see a situation where 3 or 4 goals are being scored. My lineup is going to be Courtois in goal. Right back, of course, Ivanovic, JT and Cahill in the middle, with Azpilicueta at left back, and then in the middle I'm actually going to go for Mikel and Matic, because I think that's a really solid base, as I was just saying. On the right wing, Andre Schürrle, who I think deserves a start. In the middle of that, Cesc Fabregas, of course, who shifted up to number 10. Out in the left wing is going to be Eden Hazard, and yeah, up front Diego Costa. So my score prediction is going to be a tight 2-1 victory. I think we will come through this. I think it'll be a good football game to watch. I think Southampton will cause us problems, and I do feel it could be a very tough game, but I think it's one we can come through. We can be strong mentally and of course physically, as always, with the task in front of us. And as well, it'd be interesting to see the way we adapt, because we are so good at adapting to different games. If the team wants to play a football game against us and try and score loads of goals, as you've seen us against Everton, we can do that. If a team wants to try and go really physical like us with Stoke, we can do that as well. So it's going to be really interesting, and especially with a tight game, even a tight game where it's more of a chess battle, we can do that as well. You know, it's going to be very interesting to see, but hopefully it'll be a good day, and also a good day out, because first away day of the season. So thanks for watching, guys. You can follow me on Twitter at Son of Chelsea. You can also hit that subscribe button for more CFC content, and yeah, I'll see you again. Chelsea, 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 Chelsea.